You are a new builder. You are live.
We live.
We live.
What's up, family?
Hold on, let me make sure the microphone's on. Good Lord.
Let me see if anybody joins.
Microphone, Yeti, speakers. Make sure I got it all on.
I think I'm gonna get one of them Yetis.
You gotta get one, my brother. Okay, we're here. We are here, Roundup family. Great evening, great evening. It is Chris Haskins once again. I am your host of the realestateroundup.com. You know my mission. My ministry is to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. And I know it's late. It's late. But still, we are hanging out here. We're down here in North Carolina. Yes, North Kakalaki. I got my boy.
What's going on, Roundup? Cheers.
Hey,
what time it is? Hey, it's 10 o'clock. We got to take us one for the night. We got to get us one in for the road.
Thank you.
Hey, we out here learning, guys.
I'll spit. Get your water. My water. There you go.
Roundup family. Next in line, we're here at Jay Connor's live event. Josiah. Josiah, who are you? Give me 30 seconds. Who you are, where you at?
Josiah Rivera, wholesaler outside of Gainesville, Florida, so UF.
What's UF?
University of Florida, Gator Nation. All right.
Gators.
Yeah, just beat Auburn this weekend too. So.
Auburn. Y'all got tightened up this weekend.
Slaughtered.
Oh my God.
Just popped up in 7th place. But anyways.
Whoa.
Wholesaler outside of Gainesville, Florida. So Alachua County and Marion County is my market. Man, what else are you looking at?
That's it.
That's it.
How old are you? You look like you're 10 years old.
Yeah.
You're about 22.
I'm trying to grow a beard, man. It's not working out too well.
How old are you?
I'm 23 years old.
You be the baby face in real estate.
That's a blessing, man, to be in the game this early.
How old?
Yes, sir. 23.
Oh,
23.
My God, man. Boy, you blessed.
Hustling. Trying.
Roundup family. You do not have to be an old man like me, Smitty, and transaction to get started.
Hey, I'm not old, brother. I'm 19. 19, guys. Don't believe. Hey, don't listen to Mr. Roundup.
Roundup family. Next is my main man. If it was not for this man, I promise you, there would be no Chris Haskins. Smitty the man.
You are way too humble, Chris.
I'm telling you. How many times have I said that?
But thank you.
He telling the truth. Chris don't do nothing, guys. Nothing. He just make videos.
I just put the money up. I'll just put the money up.
Put the money up, make videos, man. American way.
There you go.
Give us 30 seconds, Smitty.
Well, like Josiah, I started, I guess I was 22, 23. And when I bought my first house, and first then I got out of the business. So my advice is stick with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to
plan on it.
You got to stay down no matter what happened, man.
Got out of it for a while, got right back in. Yeah, that's the key. Keep plugging. You know, pick out what part of the market you want because it's so diverse. You know, we were just talking about some commercial deals here. Josiah's going to talk about that a little bit, but pick your niche and master it. Definitely.
If it wasn't for, I'm here to tell you, Roundup fam, if it wasn't for this man right here, there would be no Chris Haskins. I promise you. I mean, literally, as I'm leaving Washington, D.C. yesterday, I'm getting home. I'm like, I need Smitty to just do what he does. He, if you know anything about the personality test with Eric Thomas, I'm a high I. High eyes have no organization. If you walk into my office, it looks like a hurricane, which he comes in.
Shit, I might be high.
Smitty, Roundup family, I'm telling you. If you have never done a personality test, do it. Smitty, hopefully I will be doing that with him over the next week. I know he's not an I, impossible. I'm thinking he's going to be an S, introvert, highly organized. Does that sound like you, Smitty?
Yeah.
Highly organized?
Yeah.
Highly organized. I have not. Matter of fact, today was the first day I've ever seen you late. 15 minutes. Never seen
it happens. Late. I'm human.
We were supposed to leave at 5 o'clock. Round that family to get here. We were supposed to leave at 5, and bear with us. We're gonna get to some training. What we learned today. I got a whole book full of stuff. We were supposed to leave at 5. Smitty got to my house at 5:15. Rolls me out of the bed, and we're gone on the way here. So I just need to kind of. Smitty is the man. I have the vision. Like, okay, we're ripping out walls, doing knee walls, putting in. What do we rip out today? A pass through. Kitchen wall. Smitty's breaking all the numbers down about how high, how long. I'm like, look,
Smitty,
I don't want to know all that. Is it done? Is it done? Did he do it?
True.
Is it done? Is it over? I don't need to know all the moving parts. But what I found out is, Roundup family, both personalities is okay. It's okay not to. It's okay not to need to know the details, and it's okay to know the details. Both of the personalities, and I literally took this personality test this weekend, hanging out with Eric Thomas in Washington, because I'm thinking, the boss's personality is the most important. It's not true. All personalities are needed to make the train move.
Definitely.
So let's get to some training. But I want to tell you that one more time. If it wasn't for Smitty, there would be no Chris Haskins Roundup family. All right, thumbs up. Please share this content. Let's get right into it. Roundup. I got to start with Josiah since you're the youngest.
Oh, man.
I am amazed when I meet young people because I didn't start in the music business. I didn't start into the real estate until I was 28. You're starting at 20 years old. What brings you around with when most young people like myself are out there tricking off money, doing crazy stuff, here, thinking about focusing on your future? Start there.
Well, I just always knew, I guess like every, entrepreneur that always has some sort of childhood story about them loving sales.
Hit it.
Right.
What is it?
All right. Well, I remember in school going to Dollar General and picking up all the candy bars and stuff and selling them for profit for convenience fees. Oh yeah. So I was selling anything I could really get my hands on. If I could get my even in middle school, elementary school, if I could get my mom to make me a couple extra sandwiches, I'd go ahead and sell them off at lunch because the food was nasty.
Okay.
Everybody be lined up. So, but just basic stuff like that to get just a love of sales and marketing in general. But when I was I just got my AA. I was going to a community college because I was dual enrolling during high school. And
what's the AA?
Associate of Arts, right? Degree, right? Like it's your 2-year. It's the one that doesn't mean anything. Not that really any of them mean anything. But
alcoholics in the.
Hey, you're in the right game now.
Yeah. But anyways, so I was 20 and I had just had one of my childhood friends had a cousin who was doing really well in real estate. I always knew that I wanted to be rich, right? That was
Who doesn't want to be rich?
Exactly. I always knew that I was going to be right.
Okay,
I just didn't know how.
Be rich.
Yeah. And so big difference there. But
that is true.
I knew that I needed some sort of vehicle, and so I got in the game as a realtor that way. And fortunately, I had kind of an in to mentor me and give me some traditional foundation of deals, But man, those commission checks are just terrible, man. I actually, so I had one full year of doing that, and then I had a commission check that I netted. Guess how much?
5,000.
No. Well, this commission check is the reason I quit.
Oh shit!
1,200.
No.
500.
Oh, close. That's the closest.
God,
I got a check for $640.
Represent the buyer or the seller?
The seller.
Yeah, I would retire
on a listing. I was like, man, this is not for me.
Yeah, good job.
I was like, good. This is not
early
for me.
retirement.
But I knew I wanted to be in real estate. But man, that's a doozy of a whole thing. I ended up closing that. By the way, I was in Puerto Rico when I closed that on vacation when the hurricane was there.
I
closed it.
I want to stay here for a minute.
$600.
Let me stay here for a minute. I want to stay here because I think that your story is not abnormal. I don't think it's very common. Tell me the framework of this deal. So you're doing all this work representing a seller.
Right.
Go.
So, and it was a cash deal too. So it was a 5-acre parcel of land.
I'm listening.
And it was just a listing. Seller, and it was junk too, but there were some deer on the property. right? And I just got lucky enough. And this is out in the country. I'm in a rural market. So I'm able to actually sneak up on some of these deer and get photos, right? So I get photos of the deer and stuff. And there's a lot of country people out there that are like, oh man, there's deer out there. So it got a bunch of attention because of the deer that were on the property, even though it wasn't a cleared lot at all. It wasn't clear. It was like a jungle in there. But we had it listed at, because the seller wouldn't come down, it was unreasonable. And you do that as an agent, just when you're getting started, you have unrealistic listings. Yeah, you're not learning how to control situations and understanding what business to take and what not to take. You're just happy to get something. So I'm gonna be honest with you. And so I'm like, all right, 6% on a listing, but we had listed it for $59,900, right?
Okay.
And this
not a lot of money to go around on $59,900.
Not a lot of money, right?
What's 6% of that? $3,600. 6 times.
Not enough is the answer. Not enough. And we come in and it's a land, so it's got to be cash. Somebody and he wasn't willing to finance because of his situation. He needed the money quickly. He was running out of retirement. Dang. He had to, so he needed something real quick. And so we get an offer after about 2 weeks on the market. Mm-hmm. We get an offer of like 47, I think is what it. No, he came out at 47. And then we countered it at $49,900 or something like that. $49,900 and got it accepted. And then after that, I left for Puerto Rico to go on vacation. At the same time frame where Irma was coming in, right? Okay. But we didn't know, obviously.
So you're getting 3% of 50,000.
So yeah, something like that, right? And the other agent was, I don't want to say any bad, but he wasn't very smart. He showed up to closing in a t-shirt. All right.
Thanks.
So
that check was so little. He didn't kiss it, man. You like fuck that.
You can keep that.
He didn't kill me.
No, seriously. And so I ended up closing this deal by it was by the skin of my teeth, because I'm over here trying to figure out, getting everybody their closing documents and everything. And this is a cash offer we got, so it shouldn't be difficult. And then a week later, right, week into our trip, I get a call because the buyers are out of town, so they can't close. They set a closing date for 45 days, right? And I was like, what the heck? You get? And it's a vacant land contract. In Florida, you have 30 days due diligence for vacant land, right? It just built in if you choose to, do that. But that was built into the offer, and they were pretty stiff on it. They come back, and they're like, yeah, man, while I'm overseas, the other agent calls me, and he's like, yeah, man, after coming back, they went and looked at it, and he's like, and they're coming back with another offer of $46,000. Right after we had already got, and the seller was already kind of pissed that we
signed the paperwork already.
They did, yeah, but they were in their due diligence, and they were pretty much like, we got to lower it or we're going to back out. Happens. Yeah, we got to lower it or we're going to back out. And he needed the money, and I knew it was, he really only needed like 35 or so, but he had him and his wife, who had passed away, bought it in the peak of the market for $160,000 cash.
Oh man!
Back in the day, so they're taking a freaking wash on this.
How many years ago was that?
It was in 2006 when they bought it, and yeah.
Oh yeah, it was at the height. Yeah.
It was they're a bloodbath. So he's taking a huge hit on it, and he was like, "Yeah, it's making me sick to my stomach."
No, it is
to even take less than 50. So I'm like, oh man, how do I come back to this guy and tell him? And I'm overseeing, and it's like my agent's on vacation,
You're the bad guy.
Yeah, I'm the bad guy.
You're supposed to be fighting for me.
I know, exactly. So I call him, and I'm calling the agent, and I'm like, listen, man, a little salesmanship goes a long way. Is there any way that you can get your buyers to just come up a little bit? Gotcha. And he's like, nope, no way. And they didn't want to pay the closing costs either. So we ended up paying that and all prorations and the closing costs too. So he netted out of that, I think, 43 at the end of the day.
And you got your
How
did your joint go from 1,800 to 1,600?
So
you should have got.
So but at my brokerage had a 50-50 split because I was starting, right? And and you have to
pay your dues,
you have to do
Explain
volumes.
to the roundup family that I didn't understand that for the person that doesn't understand realtor fees.
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay. I'll use an example. Gotcha. So normally on the listing side, if you're the person representing the seller, the listing side, if you're representing the seller, you sign an agreement with the seller between you and your brokerage that the brokerage is going to be out of proceeds paid 6% or whatever percent is agreed upon. It can be anything you want, but standard is usually around 6%. And out of that, if a buyer's agent brings the buyer, so when you're listing it on the MLS, if another realtor sees the listing, presents a buyer, brings the buyer, and works the deal with you, generally you split that. So it would be 3% of your brokerage and 3% of their brokerage. And then out of that 3%, whatever you take home out of your side of the deal, or whatever you agreed between your broker, right? So if you were hired from your brokerage at a 50-50 split, and we're taking home 3%, then I'm only netting 1.5% pre-tax.
Dang.
So yeah, pre-tax.
Oh my
And
God.
that's self-employment tax too. So that's hard.
Oh.
That's hardcore. Yeah, that's hardcore.
Yeah, you gotta retire for that.
Woo, yeah. Yeah, so out of that, I don't know what it ended up selling for
600.
46 and some change, and then do the math on that. But I ended up netting like $640 something, $640, and like, oh man.
All right, so I got to get you our roundup family. The reason I took 6 minutes for Josiah to break that down is because I want you to see the picture of some people's lives, right?
Yeah.
That was a snapshot of your life.
Yep.
But you said it wasn't for you.
No, it was not for me at all.
But we know that a lot of people in the real estate community take that and I think that's like a defining moment for you. I'm trying
An epiphany.
There you go.
Yeah, definitely.
What made
Definitely
you say,
had an epiphany.
What made you say, as opposed to saying, "Well, I'm going to try to do better as a realtor," and not saying that we're not saying that it's good or bad.
Right.
Why wasn't that for you? And then we're done with it.
Because I valued my time more. I was like, because I knew that I knew that going in and advancing into this career, I had seen some of the top level agents and what they had to do, and the stuff and I was like, man, this is just not scalable. I mean, the top players in my brokerage were making $300,000 a year or whatever, and that's a great living, I guess. But it was
what they're doing for that.
Exactly. I mean, some of these guys to get to their marks, we're doing 71 transactions a year. And as a realtor, that is a logistical nightmare. That is hell, man. And
you don't look at a lot of houses.
Yeah. I mean, you're working 80, 90 hours a week. I mean, seriously. You're slaving.
Wow.
You're slaving. So
Good for you,
I valued my time a little bit more. So I also wanted to be more of an entrepreneur, and I knew that it wasn't scalable. You don't have a scalable business model as a realtor. So I had bought some courses, did the whole, I came into Ron LeGrand's world. Got a course. Yeah, we sucked in, pull us back. Try to pull us out. But yeah, and then kind of took off from there and studied a lot. And then went full time a year ago, and it's been history ever since. So.
Praise God! All right,
so man,
roundup family. I wanted to just stay here with Josiah. He's and all this happened when you were how old?
When I became a realtor, I got my license when I was 20.
20 years old.
I just turned 20. Yeah.
Roundup family. You don't have to be 30 like me or 50 to get started in real estate.
I mean, it really don't matter, man.
It's irrelevant.
As long as you get started, even if you're 60, you can at least get your house subject to. You got your own house.
Yep.
Or get you a couple rental properties. Like Sam Walton, he was 60 years old before he became a millionaire. So I would say it's never too late, man. Just get inside, get you some rental properties. Hey,
doesn't matter.
Live happily ever after.
Let me ask you, Smitty. When I was in ET's training this weekend, the man said that he focuses on, I know I like asking you questions like this because you're so molecular, space modulator. Smitty's good at breaking down numbers. Oh, by the way, Roundup family, if you're just joining us, this is Chris Haskins hanging out with Mr. Transaction, Josiah, and Smitty. We're here in North Carolina. If you want to, we came early. We came early to be here at a mastermind, which we'll talk about that later in the week. If you want to come hang out with us, go to the link right here in the video description to register. It's only $400. You can come and hang out with us for the remainder of the week. You know, it starts on Tuesday, but yes, we're here early. Smitty, the man said what he does to be successful is not only does he have a to-do list, but he has a stop doing list. I want to know, what is your opinion on creating a list of stuff you need to stop doing?
Oh, absolutely. Because as another real estate investor, actually one of Ron's former students, Robin Thompson, puts it, we get mired doing MWAs, minimum wage activities. So that stop doing, stop mowing the lawn, stop cleaning your house. They still need to be done. But you can hire somebody to do them, and I'm still bullheaded. I still mow my own lawn, but I'll be over at your house and watching someone else mowing your lawn. I can't do that. And your house. You've got a house cleaner. You stop doing those low value tasks so that you can focus on
what was it called? LMA? What was it again?
MWA. Minimum wage activities. Now, if you truly love mowing your lawn,
I do not. Keep on.
Then
you can cut mine. If you truly love mowing your lawn, come on down to Georgia. Hey, you can cut mine all day.
MWA.
I'll give you the address. It's on the house.
Minimum wage.
You gotta cut it for free.
Yes, sir. And I have to give Robin Thompson credit for that because that's where I learned that. She teaches that all the time.
Roundup family, did you get that? MW activity. I'm taking notes.
MWA, I love minimum wage activities.
List not to do. I mean, when the man broke that down for me, it was just such. I'm like, you know what? I do not have a list. When I was younger, I'm looking at Josiah. I was like, man, I wash my own clothes, until I was older. My mentor was like, man, do you know how many hours you are losing from washing clothes? And I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? Everybody washes their own clothes. I mean, right? You don't do it? Do you wash your clothes?
Oh, my wife doesn't let me fold them.
Okay, so you wash them, but you don't fold them.
Yeah. Oh, she doesn't even let me do that.
So she does the stuff.
Yeah,
that doesn't count.
She doesn't trust me with the laundry. I'll take care of the dishes, but she
probably throw everything together.
I don't fold it right. Yeah.
You don't do it right.
I don't do it right.
Earlier.
I don't do it right.
I don't do it right. We did that. I deal with this with my wife too. That's why I asked you. What is the definition of right?
Well, some of y'all will wash dang white clothes with color clothes, man. I hate that. Because now your white clothes look like color clothes. They dingy.
That is possible. But still, what is right? What if I want to mix my whites with my colors? Does that mean it's not right?
Well, you need to wash your own clothes.
I don't do that.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying. If it's just because you don't fold it a certain way, does that mean it's wrong?
No. Well, to some people, know.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, my wife's the same way. You're doing it
or to each her own, I would say.
You're doing it wrong. I'm like, what is wrong? What is right? We have a therapist. The therapist is helping us with that.
Yeah.
But you say that a lot, though. I'm not. If you say, I heard you say that. I'm like, what is right?
What?
What is right?
Their way.
Straight up.
Was right.
Straight up.
You get out of line, guess what? You can't do it anymore. You're grounded.
That's my point. Anyway, all right, we're done with that. Systemization, simplification, cold calling. Golly, so many notes to go over here.
What we go over today, man?
Yeah, let's do it right now. That's what I'm looking at. Root cause. I know. I want to talk to Smitty. The man talked about earlier today, which I had no idea. Root cause. I remember, Smitty, you say this a lot. I'm like, what the hell is root cause? I mean, why do I care?
Chappie was going over that too.
Yeah. Smitty, you're big at that.
Just tearing the place up here, Chris.
I am.
So root cause analysis is it's just that, and I picked it up from almost 28 years in the Navy, and in a very technical field in the Navy. I was a nuclear engineer. And so the commonality that we had today with our coach that was discussing root cause analysis, he went to school for engineering. He came from an engineering background. And engineers are always looking at things with a very critical eye, on what went wrong, what could go wrong, and you've got to drill down to the very basic cause, not a symptom. You've got to keep drilling down. So when they say root cause, it's just like the roots on a tree or the roots on a plant. Wow. So you don't want to stop at the trunk. You don't want to stop it even at the base of the root. You got to go all the way down and get the very basic cause. And that's when that's what they're talking about with root cause analysis, or finding the root cause.
Finding the root cause. You say that so much. I never forget you saying that. And then I heard it come up today. I'm like, Smitty always talks about this shit.
Yeah, and I do. I talk about a lot. My wife has a lot of medical conditions, and I'm frankly disgusted with our current American medical system because most doctors treat symptoms. Like my wife has chronic pain. So rather than finding out what is really causing it, is it a nutritional deficiency? Is it something psychological? They give her pain medicines. Or like tomorrow, she's got to go in and she's going to get a steroid injection in her neck because she's got pains in her neck.
So you're saying they're dealing with the symptoms?
Yeah, they're dealing with symptoms. And if
from
an engineering basis, if you're dealing with a symptom, say you're dealing with a crack in a wall, and you go and patch that crack in a wall, that's the symptom. Somewhere in the foundation, somewhere in the structure, something has caused that crack.
And if you don't fix the root, there'll be more cracks.
Cracks.
There you go.
So is there a difference?
Y'all hear that, guys? That's church.
Smitty, is there a different approach to dissecting I guess recognizing the root cause as opposed to trying to treat the system? What is the approach in business?
So, the approach in business, it really comes.
Like I'm going to patch.
Can you diagnose it yourself, or do you need another look?
A lot of times you really need another look because you get tunnel vision when you're trying to do it yourself.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And so that's where it's really invaluable to hire a life coach, or if you're in business, a business coach, and there's all kinds of different life coaches too, just like, a personal trainer, you've got to figure out where their specialty is. Right. And it is truly priceless.
Second opinion, you're saying. Second opinion. Roundup family, that's why we're all here. We are entrepreneurs, and we're here getting trained by other people. We're already in the game, and I'm just suggesting to you also, get a coach. If it ain't me, if it ain't Eddie, somebody here, look out there, get somebody to give a second-eyes opinion for you. Brother Eddie, I want to talk to you about, I know you're doing some of this ringless voicemail, text message marketing stuff. Tell me about this do not call thing that's going on.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that.
Possible repercussions about contacting people through the digital space.
Well, we got some people out here that's looking for people who's marketing to people who's on the do not call list. And what they're doing, guys, they're taking you to court, but instead of making you, pay for your attorney and all that stuff, they're coming trying to settle out of court for $2 or $3 grand. Well, they figure you're going to pay it because it's going to cost you about $2 to $3 grand just to retain an attorney. Mm-hmm. So you'd rather get them $2 or $3 grand and get it over with.
Wow. So
don't text blast or voice blast the do not call list, or that's your ass.
Now, how will my Roundup family, if I get my list, I've got my prop stream or whatever service provider, real flow, I got the list. How do I know if this list is on the do not call or not?
Well, some of the systems you use will actually ask, do you want to text blast a person on the do not call list? Now, not all of the services do that.
Gotcha.
So
we need to cross-reference that.
well, it's a gamble.
Wait,
So well, bro, I just brain thinking here. So, but for those people that and they say, well, I won't take you to court if if you pay me $2,000. How are they getting paid? You said you one of your boys
my
was
boy.
just had that happen to him.
Yeah.
How did he pay?
Give him
How
money.
did he pay him legally?
Give him a check.
Wrote him a check like that? Isn't
That's
that
what he
blackmail
said.
though? Why didn't you just countersue?
I don't know the whole story.
Well,
man. I just
really,
literally know he
because
paid the
you
guy.
don't supposed to text nobody, so he kind of really got you by the balls if he on the list.
Yeah, but I mean, if you gotta, well, I mean, if you're recording your calls-
Extortion, brother.
yeah, extort, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is it really? Should I,
It's not
wipe my
fair,
butt
man.
with that or what?
Here's the thing: when you get to a certain level in business, writing a check is just so much more easier
to
than
deal with the
Gotcha.
a
headache.
question mark. Yeah.
Gotcha. And then, I guess you're right about that, but I think it's a principle.
well, business. How much
Yeah,
is it? Okay,
it,
here you go.
it can
No.
go between both.
And your
I would say
reputation, your reputation is important, but at the same time, it's the principle of, defending yourself.
I know Ron LeGrand has talked about spending $50,000 on attorney's fees just because he didn't want the other side to win. Remember that one?
Yeah.
He talked about his general manager. So was it general manager? At his
Yeah, it was a
restaurant?
labor relations type thing.
She was suing him, right?
I think he had let her go, and
She came back, tried to
she
sue him.
sued for
Damages or something.
yeah,
He spent $40,000.
and they
But he ain't going out like that. Now,
right.
His principal though.
His
For him,
principle
it's
definitely with him.
For me, I'd rather sign that check
Just
for
get a headache out of it.
$25,000 rather than spending $40,000. But
That's what he did.
yeah,
He said
I don't have that extra
To each his own,
$15,000 to
man.
just
I would have paid
spend
too,
on
man.
principle.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
out of here. Josiah, let me ask you today. We're talking about rebuttals. You said that you have it down to a science, which I like this. I think I like to dig deeper to this. Not tonight, but I want to talk to you about. You got it down to where when you're cold calling with phone,
Mhm.
there's X amount of rebuttals, and you have put a system together to where, listen, I know if they say this, boom, we know to come back.
Right.
Go.
So, all right. So there's really not that many. There's probably about 5, I would say.
Five
Five
what?
real.
When doing what?
5 responses to, are you going to sell your house to me? Essentially, at the end of the day, right?
When you're
So there's yes, no, not now, right? Or how'd you get my number? And then F you.
gotcha.
There's really
That's
so
when you're doing what? Just create the framework. so
outbound
people-
prospecting, first touch,
Outbound,
phone
cold.
call, over the phone.
Gotcha.
So, I've skip traced a list. For those of you who don't know, skip tracing, you send addresses to a third-party company. They'll send you back addresses if they have them, right?
Gotcha.
And then, or not address, sorry, phone numbers if they
numbers.
have them. Yeah, attached to the addresses with the owner's name. And so you call them and say it's a list of absentee owners, and means someone who doesn't live by the house that may not,
may or may not
want to sell it, right?
Live somewhere else.
Correct. And you say, hey, hi, I'm looking for John. Oh, okay. Well, John, I was in the neighborhood and was actually wondering if you're interested in selling, blah, 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 blah. And there's really only going to be a few answers. And if you know how to work your way around those answers, you're not going to get cut. Can't remember the last time I got cussed at for calling somebody.
I love it. For the sake of time, we're already at 33 minutes. I want to hear the one. I don't know if you guys want to ask one you want to hear. I want to know about the one. How'd you get my number?
How do you get my number?
I want to hear the rebuttal on that one. Then we'll move on to the next topic.
Okay.
Would you mind hitting that one?
Yeah. So
how'd you get my number?
All right. So if you want to be honest, right, to set this kind of thing, if you want to be honest with them, now there's several ways. There's a couple of them, right? And and if it's a driving for dollars type of lead, if you guys don't know what driving for dollars is, when you go around looking at junky houses, you write down the address, look up do the old fashioned way, kind of guerrilla style to get some leads, right? But if say, how'd you get my number? I'm assuming it's a ma'am. So
how'd you
get my number? I'd say, well, ma'am, we were looking to buy a couple houses in the neighborhood, and one of you.
You mean you gonna give me some money?
Well, maybe. Are you interested in selling? But yeah, so it's like, well, we were looking at a couple of addresses here in that neighborhood, and yours was one of them. We looked up who owned it on public record, and we Googled your number. You'd actually be really surprised what you'd find online.
But what did you do? Google gave you the Googles?
Yeah, go ahead and look it up. You'd be surprised. Or what I'll do is, and that's if I actually did that, right?
All
But
right.
yeah, I'm not going to tell them a lie. If I had pulled a bulk list, I'd say, well, we actually have a third party company that we send addresses to, and if they have the numbers attached to the house with the owner's name, then they'll send it to us if they have them.
I like that.
And that's it.
You got it down. Sounds like you have received a few of these complaints or objections.
Yeah, for sure.
Good.
Yeah. And
Go ahead.
handling objections is the only way to close. If you can't handle objections, you're not closing, period.
If you can't handle objections, you're not closing. Josiah, would you be willing to come on later on our channel and kind of go over some of those objections? Not tonight.
Sure. Yeah, it's late, man. We got
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay. Roundup family, give us a thumbs up if you would like Josiah to come and break down some of these objections that he's got it down. I've seen the man go. Oh, I've seen the man.
I'm giving
with
thumbs
these
up.
Rebuttals. Yeah, I've seen him. We did a thing today. What do they call it? Hot seat.
Oh, wow.
The dude was sweating.
Sweating now. Oh my god.
I brought some tissues for you.
Oh, thank you.
Man.
I brought some tissues.
Thank you.
The dude, we did a hot seat today, right?
It's hot in here for it.
I got to cut the air on. If I cut the air on, it'd be loud.
Yeah.
They have a hot seat thing, which I'm not gonna get into. But Josiah, the room was freezing cold. Josiah sweating like, is it hot in here? I'm like, not really.
Listen, they roast you at this one.
They call it the roast seat.
I ain't even ready for that one, man. Boy. I don't know, boy. Boy, they go in, man.
The hot seat roundup family.
Oh my god.
Wait yeah, tomorrow.
I know.
Yeah, I guess we're
I'm going to the bathroom.
Follow up.
Hey, Lord Jay, he'll be waiting till I get back. Oh, we're gonna wait for Eddie to come on back out the bathroom.
And there's no talking either, by the way. We're not talking, we're just waiting. That's how before y'all came in. Well, Chris is coming in. So
I know who did that earlier.
And we're all just
Roundup family, if you're just joining us, this is Chris Haskins, Brother Transaction, Josiah, and Smitty. We are in North Carolina. If you'd like to come join us, the link is right there in this video. Get your ticket to Jay Connor's live real estate cash flow conference. I promise you, it is going to be worth a couple $100 that you're probably going to spend on buying new shoes and outfit.
Oh yeah, you're gonna blow it. You might as well invest it.
Why not? We're right here in North Carolina. I mean, true, it's not the most geographically
convenient.
We're in the country, guys.
Yeah.
We're in the country, basically. So it isn't close to anything.
We out here.
Oh, we're
Close to the beach. That's it, guys.
Roundup family, if you got questions, I got 4 experts here that are answer. We're going to go all your questions. This is free. All right. So get your questions in if you want us to answer some of that stuff tonight. Oh, man. What was
And don't forget to leave a little love offering now.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Like you in church. Put a little love offering.
If you want to support our ministry, root cause, follow up. I wanted to talk to first engineer, then Smitty I want to talk about follow up. How important is it to not only follow up, but to have systems to do that for you? Engineer, go.
Oh yeah, follow up is 90% of the business, guys. Most of the deals come out to follow up. Honestly, you're gonna get a couple of them out the first campaign, but a majority of them gonna come out the second and the third and the fourth and the fifth campaign.
What's your average turnaround time? 3 to 6 months?
Yeah,
Same.
on the follow up.
Months.
Yep.
Months.
You're gonna get some ready, but after that, you gotta wait them out. Gotta wait them out. They gotta see that they really can't get top value like they thought they could. And then some people end up moving, so they have 2 houses. So now they need your help to get rid of that house. So time and circumstances, a lot of things change.
Yeah.
So you just gotta keep following up. That's the most important thing.
So for new investors, would you say that you should be planning for 6 months on your marketing budget?
Before you answer that, what is the expectation of new investors in their mind when they're getting started, Josiah?
Instant gratification.
Yeah, you want to check like that.
Go, Smith. Go on.
Yeah. So if I were to do it again, I would have put a 6-month plan together. I kind of went out and went crazy and made a mess and went as I went.
That's how I did it. Don't worry about it. I did the same thing.
Yeah. Would you say it's better to make a mess in this market, or is it better to plan for 6 months? Which one would you do if you were starting over?
Well, you gotta mess up in order to do better most of the time. To realize that, hey, this ain't the wrong way. I need to go this way. Because sometimes people can tell you, but most of the time when you're young and cocky, you don't want to listen. You want to try it yourself.
Facts.
Especially as men, we got a testosterone issue, so we got to reinvent the wheel. We got to show you that we can do it. So,
Yep.
Follow us, Smitty. Hit it.
Well, that's so true, and kind of tying in with that, I can remember years ago when you were teaching local classes, in being on the stage in front of the room,
Wow, that's so long.
telling people that you need to be ready to put in 4 to 6 months of work
Maximum
before you see the results.
Yeah.
But then as a result of that effort, you're going to start seeing results, and it kind of snowballs because you put in so much of that effort. Sure. And so you got to stay with it consistently. Yeah. If you put in 3-4 months and say, well, this doesn't work.
It's hard.
You're right. It doesn't. Now, the next letter that those prospects get from someone else,
they're going to be ready. Yeah,
they don't know.
You done primed them.
Those people think that it came from the same person, but it didn't. So
you were your competitor's follow-up system.
I've seen that so many times.
Yep, absolutely.
Priming. I'm just thinking about that deal on Duncan. I'm just like, you were so persistent with this dude.
Yeah, I mean, and I talked about that today in the Mastermind group. That deal, out of town owner, and I mean, it just again, given the gentleman's age, and he had a little bit of senility or dementia, I just had to really nurse him along. And if we made the agreement that we would talk the next day, I reached out to him. Sometimes he'd answer, sometimes he didn't. But then I would keep on. And
were you frustrated, Smitty, with it?
I was frustrated as hell. I mean, this one, I had the owner on the phone. I got the banker on the phone. We did a 3-way. The owner gave me permission to speak to the banker. I actually developed a relationship with that banker out of that deal.
The banker on the loan.
Yeah, the banker that was foreclosing, he was in the risk management division, and
unbelievable.
As soon as as soon as I tried to call him and I got the voicemail, if you need, somebody in risk management, because he never answers his phone, but he always promptly returns the calls.
After leave the message.
I mean, as soon as you hear that I think it was risk management in that particular bank, there's a problem with the loan.
You're right about that.
Even though the owner said, no, I'm all caught up on it.
Trust but verify.
Yeah.
All right, roundup family. If you're just joining us, we're gonna I got a few more minutes. Put your Q&A over here. We are going to answer some questions. You got 4 generations of real estate investors here. Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
You better answer any question here. We got dinosaurs all the way to zygotes. Dinosaurs to zygotes, roundup family. Join us. Why not? What else are you doing with your money? I know for me, I'm like, shit. Yeah, I'm gonna spend the money anyway.
There's so much value in this this whole live event, man. I'm telling you. Like, as far as live events go, I mean, I've been to a few of them, and most of them are upsell. But
sell-a-thons.
I sell-a-thon.
So people that don't understand most live events, Josiah. 1 minute. 1 minute.
All right. So a lot of live events. You're coming in, they get you all hyped up about, we're gonna give you a bunch of strategies, yada yada yada. But they're like, most of the conversation is, before we get into that, we have an expert on blank, and they come into some life story and blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, my God. And then they'll give you some value, and you're like, yeah. All right, now it's 15 minutes of value, and then another pitch.
And
Here's the answer to what we were giving you value on for $2,000.
$2,000.
Yeah, for only $2,000.
Only two. And today, if you walk out,
You'll be a millionaire
1,500
30
right now.
days.
30 days.
Shoot.
Yeah.
I'm just being
Press a button.
I'm being transparent, and I'm just kind of getting to know Jay. But Josiah, you know him longer than me. Smitty, have you known him? I don't know how long have you known him.
I haven't known him I've known who he is. I've
Yeah.
seen him at the events for
All
the
the
last
time.
10 years.
Yeah, me too.
But I haven't known him at
Like-
such a deep level as
Wow.
I've just developed recently.
Same
The
here,
one
man.
thing that impressed me so much is
Because I always used to see him, but I never.
what other people said about him. So what other people, his vendors, say about him
At the events.
at the event. Not at the event. When you're doing the bus tour, that's very impressive. You see his whole team. He gives you the whole blueprint on what he does, right? And I thought that was so impressive. And I did actually get into his world by buying a course, whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, a ton of value in
That
it.
speaks money. I mean,
Still-
he
yep.
speaks money language.
Strategies that he teaches still work. People still do it, and it still works. And not only that, but I mean, he gave me his personal cell phone on one of the
Wow.
first times we were there, and even before I had joined his mastermind, I was because we had just gotten to talking when I signed up for his actual course. At another event, so they got me, but it was a good. They got me, but no, it was a good decision.
But
for sure.
nothing happens till something is sold.
You're right.
Nothing happens.
Yeah, but it was
You gotta be equal. What they call it?
Equal transaction.
You're
transaction.
totally right. You're totally right. But and I wouldn't be here if I didn't. So blessed for that. But yeah. So
You
they
know him
will,
deeper than all of us. We're
yeah. But I mean, one time my first private money appointment, I said, "Hey man, you got any advice?" I just texted him, and I wasn't even a student of his or nothing. And I just bought a course, and I had his cell phone number.
Wow.
And he was like, "Yeah, man, just make sure you study up on this. Yada yada yada. You're gonna do great. Let me know how it goes."
Private money. And I mean, I'm gonna spend
I was like, "Man, I'm so impressed." So
with Jay.
I love it so far, man. Guys, get down here, man.
you guys are
Man.
You only
beasts.
you got
One
more day.
Tomorrow, you can't come tomorrow, which is Tuesday, because this is for the mastermind group. But you can come Wednesday. Is it Wednesday?
Yes.
Wednesday, Thursday, the bus.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If you want to come hang out with us, it's in North Carolina, Emerald Isle City. I don't know where we're at, but if you go to the information right here in the video, it'll take you exactly right to the page where it'll give you all the information once you put your email in. So we are here hanging out with Jay Connor, and I'm telling you, I heard Jay Connor's name mentioned it's almost like repetitive over the years. I'm like, who is this Jay Connor guy? So I finally got a chance to meet him a few months ago. It has changed the trajectory of my real estate career. Private money. Let's talk right here with Eddie. Private money. How has private money changed your real estate investing, brother Eddie? First of all, let's talk about your business before you found out what the hell private money was, and then after.
Well, private money is just get money from private individuals at a decent rate between 6 and 8%. So when I first started, I was using hard money before.
Which is
hard money.
make your butt hard.
That's what it means.
Hard money make a soft butt. Go ahead.
Hard money, you gotta bring money to the table. You gotta kiss all kind of ass for the money.
Get your
Private
questions
money.
in the side.
I'm sorry, guys. I cuss a little bit. I'm so sorry.
I gotta keep it 100. I gotta keep it 100.
So, but check this out. The private money, you don't even have to put up any money. It's all based on the deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Based on the deal, usually
still
6 to 8%.
They can see.
And now my private lenders, once you do like one good deal with them, you in the game, guys. The only thing they want to see is the numbers. And like my private lenders, they don't even want to see the numbers. I just tell them what's going on. Eddie, where to wire the money? They send the money, it's a done deal. Because we got a relationship, we done been through so many properties. So once you do like 1 or 2 deals with the private lenders, guys, you're in the game.
What does a private lender look like, Eddie? I mean, are they like this elusive person that's walking around with a mask and they're like hiding from you, trying to sneak around corners?
Well, they could be anybody who has some capital that is not happy with the return that they're getting in the bank because the bank is not paying nothing, guys. 1%. So you know somebody with a little money, guys, at least shit.
25 to 30.
20,
minimum,
30,
man.
40
I'm
grand.
10, I can't help you.
You could bless them and show them how they can make money with their money.
Oh man.
Instead of just sitting in the bank with no interest. If
Losing
it's just sitting in the
value.
bank like that, you're gonna use the money for something
You
most
losing.
likely a liability,
What about retirement
a
accounts?
non-performing asset.
What
Yeah,
about
retirement accounts. Man, it's all kind of people. Doctors, lawyers, people with IRA accounts,
Home equity lines.
home equity lines, you name it,
Chris.
guys.
I gotta bring Chris on. He just sold the house, made a big old bunch of money.
Smitty, Mr. Transit. What's up, Chris?
Chris made a bunch of money last week.
Chris, hey, I heard you hit, Chris. Let your boy hold something.
Josiah, private money, and I want your aspect transparent. You're new to the business.
Mhm.
You're wholesaling.
Mhm.
What is your take on private money, my friend?
So private money for me is and my business model, right? Because I think that I am specifically been very keen on acquisitions and getting in and out and getting checks quickly and trying to raise a bunch of capital, right? So
Which is no future in that. I mean,
because I'm speculating, right? I didn't want to do anything speculative in my investing right now because of the timing and where we are in the marketplace.
Yep.
And I think there is going to be a little bit of shift, and I don't want to be taking a wash.
What did Jay
on
say about
properties
that
are
real quick
leveraged.
about the decline in our current economic state? What does he say?
Did
What did
he
he
say
say?
anything?
He said
I went to the
pretty much
bathroom.
it was vague. He was pretty much said, we're expecting.
Where'd you top?
He's expecting a little bit of a dip, here somewhere.
Not a meltdown.
I don't think
there's
one.
going to be a
What did he
meltdown,
say?
But he didn't really go
Okay,
over that. But
okay, gotcha.
yeah, more than that. But
Private money.
Yeah. But having the capital to be able to dump it back into real estate when there is a lot of room for appreciation, buying on a low, right? And then renting them out until the equity returns, and then cashing it. I mean, when you're in it with no money, and no personal guarantee, even better.
Hard to lose.
Yep.
Smitty, you want to chime in? Oh, you done, Josiah, on that?
Yeah, definitely.
Are you raising private money being a newbie, or are you still kind
definitely.
of... Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just amazed that I didn't learn about private money until I was in the business for 6 years.
Really?
So I'm just thinking like your brain is just wired differently, dude. I mean,
Well, he got in the game early, so he was blessed to start getting this information, man.
Yeah, he's not learning this shit wrong. And then
Learning
having to
right.
relearn it.
Yeah.
Like I did. I don't know
Like
about
I did too. Yeah, I had to relearn some of this stuff. So you're getting it
I
pretty
was
good.
too.
It was
I mean,
expensive,
I
though.
was well, even though.
But you know what? Either you pay
Worth
with
it,
it
100%
up front, or you pay with it
On
by
the
the
back.
losses.
100%.
Go, Smitty. What are you saying?
Yeah, even though I started back in the 1980s, yes,
Good
I'm the
Lord.
dinosaur,
You're real Jurassic.
and I used seller financing, which is essentially a form of private money.
Yep.
But then I, when I got out of the business, got back into it, my brain had been twisted by those banksters, as our friend Matt Lyerla likes to call them.
That's terrible.
They, and so I was using conventional financing, and so I was going to the bank and begging for it, and I would much rather help out a private investor who's not getting crap for a return on their investment in traditional accounts. And I'm not combining traditional versus Roth IRA. I'm just saying the traditional accounts, where I can provide them a better return on investment.
That's right.
And it's safe, it's secured. It's, that the stock market could drop 50% tomorrow.
Yeah.
We can't control that.
And you know that firsthand. You kind of dabbled in that a little bit. You want to share with that, or you want to wait for another session with it?
That's another day.
We gotta wait till we gotta bring you on about that. Smitty's been a trader, day trader. Is that what you would be called?
More a scalper, but scalper's even quicker than day trading. But
dang, I thought day trading was there's another level.
There's all kinds of different levels when in trading, and it's not. I mean, it's any kind of financial instrument. It's not just stocks.
Gotcha. Scalper. I'm thinking about a ticket scalper.
Back in the day.
It's kind of like it's kind of like that. It's just you go in, you have a set profit that you're shooting for. As soon as you get it, you close that out
Done with
to bank that profit.
Gotcha. KC and MC, yes, the live event starts Wednesday. Yes, we are here for a mastermind. Yes, but if you want to come, just go to the link in the video description. Roundup family, we're hanging out with Mr. Transaction, Josiah, Smitty. Get your questions answered by 4 generations of real estate investors right now. Cut that TV off. Cut something on that's going to pour into you instead of taking out and start watching that junk. Blacksmiths, what's up? Is a tax attorney lounging? I want to learn his hustle. I don't know about that. We don't have a tax attorney here with us tonight.
Oh yeah, he might be drunk a little.
Where am I located? I don't know where. Blacksmith.
Drink chats.
Drink chats.
Drink
Yeah, don't get drunk. It ain't drunk track. Just having a drink, not drunk. Brother D Nubian. Where am I located? We're in
Emerald Isle.
North
Isle.
Carolina. But I'm in Virginia though.
Just south of Atlantic Beach.
Atlantic Beach.
But maybe like 30 minutes. Something like that.
I'm Virginia. I'm in Virginia though. Phoenix, Arizona. You got somebody in your market? No, that's not you. That's who's in Phoenix? Somebody's here from Phoenix.
Too many people.
I can't remember. Douglasville, Georgia. Jamon's in it. Isn't somebody from Phoenix, Smitty?
No. The we brought him on remotely. The
Wolf's out there.
Well, yeah,
Kyle.
That's it.
Kyle Allen.
Danny, without having been Florida. So humid. Chris, what up? I'm gonna sneak away from come down. Buyers issue wishing to sneak away. Oh, buyers issues. Oh no, I thought you was getting that check. Chris, we're now doing a lead-based inspection tomorrow. Hopefully close on Thursday. Study us and we'll learn that shit. Chris, I thought you was gonna be going to the bank tomorrow. Hey. Roundup family, that's a good one. I want to talk about closings that don't happen the day that you think they're gonna happen.
Hey, don't count no real estate checks until you at that closing table.
Shit. Not till you get that.
You really need to get the check in your hand.
In your hand.
In that hood. You sign off on.
Wow.
Yep. Chris, you know it's a done deal then.
Chris, where you at? Let me bring you in. I want to hear about this. Roundup family, this is real live right now. Let me see if I can get Chris on here with us. He's supposed to have a closing today. Matter of fact, he already closed. Damn, that's a monster. You already closed. And now you're buying one of lead-based paint. I would have smacked somebody in the head. He's closed today, right?
He doesn't have to give it to him, does he?
Let's see. I don't know. You talking about $290,000, man? This a big deal.
If it wasn't disclosed, then he's got a big problem.
I don't know. Let's see. He might be gone 10:40. That was 30 minutes ago. Damn, we've been on that long. Birch, where you at, dog? We have to bring you on maybe tomorrow night. I'd like to hear about
what's
that.
The year for lead paint in Florida? It's like
78.
70. Oh, it's 78?
Yeah.
I thought it was 72.
It might be different for different years. I don't know.
78.
Where do you start? He's got good credit, low funds. Let me ask Josiah. Where did Josiah brother do? Oh, let's him here. Let's see what he's got. It's a good one. Birch.
Yo.
Can I bring you on, or you want to do it on the phone?
Yeah, I just got to the house. That's fine.
You want me to bring you on video, or can we talk on the phone? I'm still live. I want to hear what's going on.
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay. I mean, shit, I got you now. What's going on? You got this deal. What's the deal? We're supposed to close today. You close Friday. Now you send me a message on here that the buyer wants a lead-based paint inspection. I'm confused.
That is correct. So I actually closed on Friday.
Which was 3 days ago, Roundup family. I don't know when you're going to watch this.
Yeah. So I closed on Friday. We had the buyer going to close today, which is Monday.
Cut your video off.
I got a text from my listing agent that the buyer now is requiring a lead-based inspection, and they refuse to sign.
What kind of deal? What kind of deal? What kind of deal was it?
Retail.
It was a regular retail sale.
Gotcha.
Retail through a realtor.
Gotcha.
Yep.
What's up with that, Chris?
Well, so part of my disclosures as the seller was, what knowledge do I have of lead-based paint? And I said, I have no knowledge of it, but it's a tear down. It was a rebuild, and we used, all new paint.
Mm.
And we saw it when the buyer put it in their original offer. But when they came back to us, no one brought it up. We didn't bring it up. And they were supposed to close today at 12, and I got a text around 11:30 saying that the buyer refused to sign because we need to do a lead paint inspection.
Was this not in the original purchase and sale agreement that you did? I mean, there's no walls in your house. You have no original walls.
No.
I'm not following. I'm not comprehending. If there are no original walls,
yep,
how could there be?
So the buyer's reason is the original construction of the house, regardless that we tore it down or not. The original construction was 1927.
Where are they going to test for this paint, Chris? There's no way to test for lead-based paint.
Only on the interior. We're going to do an inspection tomorrow. From what I understand, it's going to be a swab inspection, and we should have the certificate by Wednesday.
All right. What is your gut saying?
It's another hiccup in a good deal. I don't think it's a big ordeal.
Gotcha.
But it's just another bump in the road.
Gotcha. Okay, so your gut is saying this is just another piece of paper that needs to be in the file.
So it was a rebuild.
Another piece of paper. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So it was a rebuild, and you actually it was a new construction. It was a new construction deal.
No, he just gutted it. No walls.
No, it was a complete tear down, and we tore it all the way down to the block foundation.
Oh, gotcha.
The only thing that was existing was the original block.
So you took the paint away,
the whole house,
and then you had modern paint.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Tell me what your mind is thinking, Chris, as you're going through the day. Tell me what I want to know where you were at mentally.
Mentally, well, Chris knows this, and if you go back in Chris's videos, you'll see he and I talked about this house on numerous occasions. I wish I still owned the house and was able to, lease option it, hold on to it, rent to own it. I mean, numerous things. But we are where we are, and we sold the house. We're under contract.
Mm-hmm.
It was fully through inspection. Everything passed. There were two minor inspection things we had to do, and today it was kind of free and clear. We'll get the wire tomorrow or Thursday or Wednesday, and move on to the next deal.
Gotcha.
And it's a minor hiccup.
Gotcha. All right.
Gotcha.
Spoken like a true entrepreneur.
Yeah, we hope for the best.
Hope for the best.
Yeah. So
Part of the business.
So worst case, I don't know how you finance the deal, or if it was all cash or private money or hard money or whatever. If you have like a balloon coming up or whatever.
No.
No.
Go ahead.
All in. All right. Well, I was gonna say, would it be an option for you to just take the deposit, sell it again?
Oh, without a doubt.
Right. Worst case, he takes the deposit, sells it again. If it's a nice house, I mean, you just had to renovate it in this market.
What type of earnest money you get out of these guys?
It was small, so they were all cash. No major contingencies is what the offer originally came in as. It was contingent on an inspection, which went through perfectly fine, and is actually being purchased by. And Chris and I actually spoke about this. It's being purchased by
A company.
What would you say, Chris? Ron LeGrand on steroids?
You said that, yeah, Ron LeGrand on steroids. The company buys them and lease options.
No.
A company around the
So we had an all cash offer, 100%.
no crazy.
The EMD was like 0.5%, but that didn't really concern me too much because they showed proof of funds. They're gonna, they're ready to buy it, and they already had a lease option in tow. So it sounded good, but quite honestly, the reason why I say I don't really feel that nervous about it is it's being bought by a major company.
What's that? You want to share with the Roundup family who this company is?
It is called. What is it called?
We'll bring you back on.
Home homepartners.com.
Homepartners.com. Roundup.
It's somebody new every week.
These dudes crazy, dude. They buy houses cash and lease options.
Zillow too.
Wow.
Zillow financing.
Yeah.
And then you get a loan, but they paying tough.
All right, Chris. We'll bring you back on when things calm down for you. Is that fair?
That sounds great, man. You guys have a good time. Learn what you guys are learning and continue to network.
Yeah, I wish you could come down here, man. I missed you this weekend. You know, I wish I want to see you, but you know how it is, man.
No doubt.
All right, Birch.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Yep. All right. Do a few more questions and I'm done. Smitty, you look like you about to be done too.
Shit, man, Smith, I'm on my last leg over
Come
here.
on, man.
Man, I had 2 hours of sleep, bro. I need some rest, man.
All right, King Coming. I want this Josiah. Newbie wants to know how to close his first deal. Josiah being a newbie, coming from a newbie. I'm using the restroom. Josiah, your points.
If I were to close your first deal, what I'd do is I'd fill up my gas tank, start driving for dollars. I'd get 100 distressed properties a week, at least 100 to 200, depending on how competitive your market is. I'd do a little bit of market research, see what you're dealing with, right? And from there, I'd get in the car, and or if you don't have a car, if you need to get healthy, start jogging for dollars.
Jog for dollars or catch the bus for dollars.
Catch the bus for dollars, whatever.
Bicycle.
Go out there, get your numbers in there. If you want to, there's an app that makes it a little easier for you. Deal Machine is probably the best driving for dollars app. Period. I would do that. Deal Machine makes it easy. I think it's only like $40 a month or something like that. If you got a little bit of money to start, but if you have no money or very little money, but you got a car, I would go ahead and start driving for dollars. Get as many, hit a couple zip codes, hot zip codes in your area, or places that are blue collar neighborhoods, or even towards the lower end a little bit, and write down as many as you can. I mean, and if you're really hustling, you can get 50, 60 a day, in a couple hours. And then from there, I would go ahead and just do that every single week consistently to try to get anywhere from like 400 to 800 of those properties a month. From there, I'd make sure they're all organized. Make sure you got the first name, last name of the owner. Get that from public record, plus their mailing address, plus their property address that you're looking to buy. I would skip trace them and I would cold call them. To be honest, that's the most because if you mail them, some of these are vacant. That letter's not getting there. The skip tracer's finding the people. So, I'd start out that way, and that is the most cost-effective way, period, to get your first deal. I mean, people doing that and all in for an entire month of everything, and they're maybe $200 to $300,
Nothing.
which is like nothing. $200 to $300.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And they're in there, and especially if it's a for sale by owner, your earnest money, $100, man. Whatever you want. Some people are putting it up for $10.
We do $100. What do you do?
I do $100.
I do $100. Eddie, go. First do deal. First, anything else, Josiah?
But your return on investment for that is just outstanding. So if you have if you got the persistence to do it and you really want it, I'd get in the car and I'd start driving.
Drive for dollars.
Drive for dollars. Yeah, for sure.
Wow, we'll leave it there. Eddie, you want to chime in or you done?
About what?
First deal.
Oh, how to do your first deal? Or what should they do?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah.
Never mind, man.
Man, I'm tired, man. Chris done worked me all night. I've been up all night. Then we went to a seminar.
First time
10 hours a day.
dog.
They wear me out. Then he got me in here doing the doggone live. Now he know how to slave drive you guys.
It's what I do. It's what I do. All right. Raul sent me an email. If I don't reply in a day, please send it to me again. We get 50 to 100 emails a day, my brother.
Every day.
Please, if I don't reply, it's not that I don't love you. I promise you I do. I just need to get a better system in place, which I'm working on right now. You coming, Latanya. Come on down. Go to the link below to join us this weekend. It's not.
Do your first deal, man. You just can't stop until you do it. You got to pick up the phone. If you suck at cold calling, so what? I sucked when I started. Chris sucked when he started.
Yep.
I
Josiah,
certainly did.
Smitty, everybody.
Everybody around here. But you got to
Be
keep
willing to suck.
going. Just like when you first got on the bicycle. You didn't jump on and just start riding without the training wheels, did you? And then fall? No. You had to keep on getting on the bicycle, fall a couple of times until you got it. Same thing with the cold call. You got to mess up a couple of times. You're going to say the wrong stuff a couple of times. Then you're going to get it right. And once you get it right, you start getting the deals. And then it's like that. You just keep on going.
And it's a momentum business for sure. I don't know if y'all
agree
with that.
What do you mean by that, Josiah?
I mean, like you had brought it up slightly.
Say that again. What did you say?
This business is a momentum business.
Nope, that's right. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, and what I mean by that is when you said earlier, and just kind of combine what you were saying, you said 90% of your deals, right, are follow. I can agree with that. I think it's like 80 to 90% is follow up, right?
That's right.
And you said that all of a sudden things start trickling in after your 6 months. Say you don't get your first deal, but you've been consistent for 6 months, right? Keeping people in the pipeline, keeping that stuff. Well, things that you called in your first month closed on your 6th month. Well, on your 2nd month, they're closing on your 7th month. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That making sense? So that trickle, and then but you stop, and if you're on a transactional basis, you're not buying for cash flow. That's it. Your income stops. So you cannot stop. Period.
Can't stop. Won't stop. Can't stop now.
Cannot.
That's
stop.
a big thing with new investors. They think get that big check is where it's at.
Yeah.
Irrelevant. I don't care if you're making $200,000.
That's just one check. You still got a lot of more checks to get.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Everybody think they get, I got a $50,000, $100,000 check. Come on, man. It's not gonna last your lifetime
how much it is.
Unless you invest it,
unless
right?
you're making $100 million, man. I don't get $100 million, maybe. I am Lita. Hey, Chris, guys, live in Virginia Beach. Okay. On the other side of my first deal. Don't know what that means. Full time in the beauty industry. Okay. I mean, that's a good industry. I'm considering moving to Atlanta with Eddie. Moving in there with you.
Hasn't got her first deal yet. So still on the other side of the.
Oh, is that what that means?
Yeah.
For opportunities, but she's afraid Atlanta is saturated. What is our advice?
Well, you got the internet. You can invest anywhere.
You're right. You don't got to live there.
No, you don't have to live there. You can go to Tennessee. You can go to California, right here from the comfort of your own home.
Something.
Well, if you're
but you need boots on the ground now. You're gonna need somebody looking at the properties, taking pictures, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
people selling me deals. They live in Florida.
Yeah.
I'm like, how the hell you say? How you gonna? I don't know how they do it. Virtual wholesale.
Yeah.
Well, if you're collaborating and not competing,
collaborating and not competing.
Yeah, I mean, my first deal was a JV because I didn't really have that many buyers at first. And
what's a JV, Josiah? For people that may not know.
All right, a joint venture. It's when you actually put an agreement together with another wholesaler that's bringing a buyer for you, and then you split the profits. Yeah. Yep. So So that's how that happened. Because I was not and newbie advice, right, to a newbie: build your buyers list while you're looking for your deals. It's not one or the other. Some people are like, get your deal first. It's like, or get your buyers first. It's like, man, do it at the same time. You need to be networking constantly, but looking for deals at the same time.
Good advice. Bobby Jam, Eddie, I'm gonna let you out here in a minute. Good Lord. Get my course. You can get my stuff here. Just watch my YouTube channel. Is it first time Airbnb? If it's your first time, Peggy Lee, if your first time deal,
Peggy Lee,
excellent Airbnb channel. Where do you get your hard money to put a duplex on the property? Do you understand that? If it's your first time deal, excellent Airbnb opportunity. Where do you get the money to put a duplex on the property? I don't understand that question. I'm sorry, Peggy Lee. I need you to break it down a little better for me. Zygotes, yeah, I broke it down. I broke it down. I went real scientific, biological on you. Truck life, must be a truck driver. How do I get step by step on a deal in the Gold Club with Ron? I'm too far away from that one. I don't know.
What are they talking about?
Rounding up family, I will be honest with you. I'm kind of disconnected with the people that are starting from like below sea level. I'm looking for the people that are already cranking out deals and I can take it higher. Latanya, hey, Peggy Lee, what's a good deal in this situation? How long should I get on the payment? I have no idea. We got to put your deal on here first. Got to work on your W-2. You right about that. You gotta get your W-2 income. Let me ask you, do not be coming into real estate if your cash flow is all messed up. Eddie?
Well, I mean, you guys just work harder. You could come into real estate, but you can only do wholesale lease option. You can do sandwich lease option also.
But if you
gotta work hard as hell.
and your life get cut off.
Shit, you need a deal.
I mean, how you gonna do?
You be homeless up on the bridge. You better have that phone calling on them leaves like that. Hey, y'all want to sell the house?
That's how I started.
Shoot,
That was stupid though.
hey, you gotta go in, man.
Yeah.
You gotta go hard.
Josiah, you don't have kids, and you don't.
Yeah, that's true though. If you got kids and stuff, that's a big step. I had nothing really to lose.
Don't think you're gonna get up in this business.
I can get a bankruptcy. I'm in the 20s. It's over in 7 years.
Josiah, it'd be over in a couple of months. We know.
Don't be getting up in here if you.
Let's take it up quick.
Danny, what is hard money? That's a good question. Go ahead, Danny. You can hit that, Eddie.
Hard money, just hard money. Danny, where the heck you was? We just went over this. You gotta hit rewind, brother. I'm tired now.
All right.
Chris working me all night like, boy. I'm about to call. What's the people when they overwork you?
Labor unions.
Yeah, I'm about to call that on you, Chris. Right now.
Anyway. Roundup family, get your questions answered. I'm here. I'm a servant. We are servants. Home Partners of America does lease option programs. That's right. Carolina, thank you for putting that on there. Google Home Partners of America. They are the real deal. That's what my boy is selling that house to, Chris. They buy the property cash and then lease option it out all across the country.
Oh, yeah.
That's some crazy stuff.
Wow, I like them.
Yeah.
Good. I got a couple on my new.
How do I find a mentor I can afford, Truck Life? We don't know what you can afford. So you gotta be a little more specific. I'm telling you, being specific is what gets you successful in this business. You gotta be specific. A mentor you can afford, can you afford $50,000? Then you need to get this guy. If you can only afford $500, then you need to get a different guy. So I don't know what your price is.
I would
go
say
ahead, Josiah.
I would say that how can you add value to someone that you want to take under your how can you add value to someone of a higher net worth who knows what's up? Because when you're dealing with higher net worth people, you've got to, when you come in,
I don't want to hear it. I wouldn't talk the same language.
Exactly. You've got to bring something.
A lot of value.
You got to bring value, right? And if you don't have the money, then you've got to be, listen, I'll work for free for 6 months, man. Just teach me what's up. I'll grind it out.
You talking.
Yeah.
I'll grind it out.
Talking, Josiah.
That's when you really want
Don't
it.
get me preaching, man.
You really want it, you'll do it like that. You'll go out like that. If you just full of excuses, you just, hey, you're going to do what you do best. Make excuses. Next thing you know, 30 years done went by. Well, I was going to get that program.
Excuses. Tools of the incompetent to build mountains of nothingness. Smitty.
So, I mean, essentially you're becoming an intern, to give that value, so in order to get the benefit of learning the mentorship, learning how to do the business, you've got to be willing to jump in and do something, adding that value. So you're interning. So you may be doing some grunt work, for the person, for the benefit of gaining the knowledge as you go.
That's right.
And 6 months, because you could skip 5-6 years, of that grind. You could get from step A to step D in 6 months.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was
with the mentor.
It's an unpaid internship for a trade.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a trade school,
Derek the Hitman. Good Lord. What's your preferred ROI? Are we talking about on a long-term hold or a flip? I need to be more specific. Be specific. Josiah, you gonna say something? My ROI is 30%. Depends. I mean, if I'm looking for a long-term hold, it all depends. A lot of information out there. Jerry Smith. Hey, Jerry, how do I handle properties that are corporate owned when driving for dollars? If they're corporate owned. I like Josiah hit that. If you got a bank, basically you got a bank REO and driving for dollars.
Or it could be just a regular seller like me or you.
She says corp. She says, how do you find it when it's a corporate owned?
You have it in the LLC.
Okay. Yeah. On the title, you mean?
Yeah. on public
Yeah,
record. It's
usually
gonna
you're
have
not going to do the. In my experience, you're not going to do those deals. I mean, I don't know about that. I'm buying from mom and pop.
I mean, we do those deals. It just take a lot of more work because you got to locate the individual owner of the LLC. You know, find out who that is and get in contact with them.
All you got to do for that is make an instructional video for your state. So for in Florida, right, my market, online Sunbiz is the website. All you do is just search it in, and then it gives you, all the records of who owns. Yeah, managing member and everything. So all you got to do is get a VA. You create a little video, and then
So we're saying with a
build a
corporate
list that
seller,
way.
with a corporate seller, it depends.
Yeah. If it's a trust, you're not gonna find it, but unless
the
their
other
name's in
thing,
the trust.
It's rare, but it can also be a gold mine too, because you may stumble on somebody that owns a lot of properties,
and
they forgot about
they decided it's time to retire. It's
liquidate.
Time,
Or failed
turn
investor.
into there you go.
So I wouldn't ignore them.
Don't ignore them. Yeah,
but
that's true.
but they're going to be tougher.
A little tougher.
You got to put in a little extra
more
work to get find out the owner and stuff.
But that's usually where the deals are.
But
That's true. Harder it is to find.
Yeah,
better
the deal.
See, guys like me, I'm lazy. I just want to write a check. But Josiah, he's willing to do the work and look for him, so we'll pay him to do that. But we'll pay that value for that wholesale fee. Jermon, he's in Macon. What a dog. I caught you valuable information. We are honored to serve, even though Eddie's sleepy. Look, somebody liking what you're saying, Eddie. You all sleepy. 50 people on here watching.
Hey guys,
You ought to be there ashamed. Come on, wake up, man. Wake up. I read it wrong. How do you find good quality, honest contractors? You don't.
Good question.
I can know what I know, but y'all go. I know what I know.
well, Chris and
All right, I
Smitty
guess
the
it is
vet,
my
so
turn. Yeah, my
we'll
turn.
vets on the
answer.
renovation.
I usually don't answer. You want to go, Smitty?
You just, what I'll do is I'll be driving, and if I see a rehab that's in progress, and it's pretty obvious, if there's a dumpster,
That's right.
I'll stop. I'll go out and talk to the guys. I'll ask for cards. If it's, I'll find out if it's the owner, find out what kind of contractors they are. See it. Generally, the investors are not going to want to share. If the contractors are worth a damn, they're not going to want to share them. they're protecting that asset that they have. But if you walk into the place and you got to be respectful, ask if they mind if you come in. And if it's just contractors that are there, there are a lot of contractors that work for 2, 3, 4 different investors because they need to be grinding to make their money.
That's right.
That way you can check out the work that's in progress. Ask for references.
There you go.
But that's what I do a lot of times. I am never afraid to stop at a work site and talk to contractors.
Jay's gonna blow your mind on this bus tour, dude.
I can't wait to meet this guy.
He's gonna blow your mind. He's gonna blow your mind.
So you're saying how we found him exactly that way. And I know it's funny when you got the white dude showing up. He might look like the city inspector. He's gonna shut you down. But Ty, when he shows up, he's really legitimate. He wants to get to know you. He's not going to put a stamp or stick on your door and give you a stop work order. He's legitimately. But yes, for me, we're looking for the dumpsters in the driveway. If you have a dumpster in your driveway, I'm showing up. Hey, I'm Chris. I'm just a local investor. I'd like to see how you do business. That's how we find them.
That's a good way.
Or go to Better Business Bureau.
You can try that too. I've never done that, but you can try that.
You're gonna pay, but most of the people gonna do the work.
Caroline, dreams on do that. Oh,
Caroline.
damn! I was talking about Eddie's Facebook said hard money. Oh, he looked at that. Brando Johnson, the currently use Spokio to skip trace. Okay. Are there any other providers we recommend for better data?
True People
phone
Search.
numbers. What is it?
TruePeopleSearch.com.
Brando, True People Search. You got
Free.
some gurus here.
Free. They're for one-offs. And if you want to get really specific for one-offs, this one's $10 a search, but they'll give you a 110-page report on the seller. Findtheseller.com. I've never not found someone or a relative or someone who knew what was up about the property.
TruePeopleSearch.com.
Yep, and findtheseller.com. Highly recommend.
Eddie, y'all are good on that internet crap. That's it.
Data Zap. We use Data Zap.
Data Zap.
But you got to keep like $150 to $200 on it in their account, and they'll skip trace.
But you could always just use Fiverr and get somebody to do it.
You do Fiverr is about a good 50.
Yeah.
You got a good
get 10.
Oh yeah, for one-off.
For one-offs, yeah.
Fiverr, they got about a good 50-60% number ratio.
For
But
what are you doing for bulk?
Fiverr,
Oh, Fiverr too?
they do 500 for $50.
I'm using batch skip trace, and but
skip tracing.
yeah, I get a discount. I get like 18 cents a lead or something like that.
That's
Fiverr do
deal.
500 of them
Not bad.
for $50. So what's that?
That's just 5 cents.
Yeah, something like that.
Skia. Hey to you. Seems like my expenses are outweighing my rental income. Not good. Like broken pipes, fuse panels. Oh Lord, you doing repairs?
Oh, you need to do a short sale. No, I'm just playing.
Fuse panels. You need encouragement. I want to give up in my second year to let. Oh, you're doing.
See, that's the problem. You started off being a landlord from the jump.
Conventional rentals.
I'm
I'm gonna let Smitty take this one. Then we'll get the lease options. Smitty.
Hey, I'm sorry. I've been there with you. I've learned that lesson, but
That's
once
a rough one too.
once you're in it, you just kind of got to dig your way out of it.
Dig your way out
Unfortunately,
of it,
and
Sound like me 20 years ago.
They'll get your small loan.
A small loan.
You don't need
house.
You don't need it for that rental property. And when they get out there, just put somebody in on the lease purchase with the worst credit possible if you don't want to sell it.
How do you screen your tenant buyers? Just give me the one. I need a 1 sentence answer. Earlier today at our Mastermind, they were saying about having the best tenant buyer. What does your best tenant buyer look like? What do they have?
Ching ching. You approve, baby.
For her situation, I would say, well, what I'm thinking of right now is how long does this tenant have on the lease, and could you transform this into a work for equity type situation? Is there enough equity in the property where you could turn it in and sell it to a general contractor?
Work for equity with the current tenant?
No, get that tenant out.
They gotta go.
Get that tenant out. Yeah. How much is on the lit? Maybe even weigh in the benefits versus pros cons of buying her out or cash for keys kind of thing, and then getting it on a work for equity, getting a down payment for a GC. Yeah, they gotta go for sure, 100%.
Eskia. I don't know how you say that. Your current tenant has to go. Smitty's been there. Transactions been there. I've been there, and I do not. Matter of fact, I'm not going back. I'm done. What you're doing is what I did years ago. All you're doing is throwing money away every month. How many tens and tens of thousands of dollars have I given away for mortgage payments for people not paying rent, repairs? Don't do it. You got to get some wisdom, some knowledge, get a mentor, understand lease options. You've got to understand how lease options work. Stop doing repairs. Stop doing these major repairs. Broken pipes, fuse panel. Man, shit. I can't wait to see the video of me and Smitty walking to one of my houses. I know. Was it the first time you seen one of my ugly ones? When we walked into Rome with the wires everywhere in the kitchen. No kitchen.
No, that wasn't. That was the first time I had seen that particular property, but
Gotcha.
I've been in other ones.
So Smitty's like, okay, you gonna rent this out? I'm like, we're renting it out as is. We got 3,000 now. We got 3,000 on that one. I'm saying that to say you can rent out ugly lease options. I need to know more about your situation, Eskia, but stop doing repairs.
Well, if they ain't there, ain't nothing you could do about it. But
she can stop doing repairs.
Well, they move out. Well, at least they'll move out. You sound like you got a limit. You may need to wholesale it.
Yeah.
Or sell it or renovate it and sell it or something. It's hard. We really don't know the situation.
Second year. She said it's her second year in, right? So
but I don't know when about cash or
I don't know what your front end buy looks like.
Yeah, she might have bought it wrong.
Could possibly right, but if there was enough equity in it, I'd kick the tenant out and then try to work for equity to a GC, to a general contractor. who are just going to do the repairs because they'll do it at cost,
That's
and then
true.
if there's enough equity, get out of there.
You need to do lease option on that. Work for equity, whatever, however you want to call it. Get somebody in there. Get somebody else on the hook for the repairs. You need more people. Okay, reach out to the corporate. Oh, you did that. He's got floors. Jerry's in Florida. Okay. That's a good question. How do you guys feel about the home warranty plans? Smitty, you got an opinion on that?
I tried one on one of my properties for 1 year, and it just wasn't worth it.
You still got
They don't like to fix nothing, man.
No, you got to fix.
They gonna charge you to come to the house.
You already pay for them to come $100.
Man.
I gotta pay a regular dude to come.
Yeah, you gotta pay them every month, and then when they come out to the house, it's another fee.
Yeah, that
$45 to $100.
Yeah, I'm paying $100.
Oh, you pay.
And then they can be like, look, on page 42-C
It says you gotta pay for that one.
We don't cover that. Thank you. I need my check.
My experience is you're better off to put that money away
Aside.
and save it
Every month,
Put it
man.
away every month.
Or do a lease option and let the tenant do all the work.
Right.
God.
Make your life easy. I don't do
think
traditional rentals, man. I don't mess around, man.
For
I don't
what?
have time for that, man. Don't call me about no toilets,
Toilet's trash.
nothing. I don't have time for that, man.
I get a letter from the look. If something breaks, don't call me.
Call the
Call
maintenance
your,
guy.
Call your daggone self. Matter of fact, when landlord, you put your phone number. What is my niche in real estate? You love my channel because I tackle more complex method. Yeah, you see, you may notice that I don't do a lot of training on wholesaling. You can learn that from a million real estate channels. I don't have time to teach
Everybody and their mama.
Yeah, I'm not into that. I mean, we do it.
You got an iPhone too.
But my niche is lease options, new construction, rehabbing, raising private money. Those three. Carolina. Don't give up. Growing pains.
Mine was dead too.
Don't give up. Raise your bandwidth. Don't lower your bandwidth. Raise your bandwidth. I need to be good information. These joints is coming in. Anybody? Hey, Dave. Excuse me. Picked up a property subject too. Praise God. Good job. Good for you. Woo. You're in my market. Subject to the existing insurance.
I think that's business specific. You can get your own insurance policy, but
what is it? I didn't even read it. What does it say? You read it out. I can't even read it.
Yeah. She's saying because the seller was paying PITI, right? Principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, right? So in adding her, she took it subject to instead of getting her own insurance policy. She just had the seller add her as an additional insured, which some people do, some people don't. I mean, it's up
to you. You're right. It's all about day. I have I'm real in my teachings. I'm real cut and dry. Left side of the fence, right side of the fence, right? If you're on the left side of the fence on the insurance, if you got no equity, if there's not a lot of risk, you're not losing a lot, I just add myself to the insurance. Like if I got a lot of meat on the bone, a lot of equity, I get another policy because I don't want no questions. At the house I live in, got a lot of equity, right? So I got a whole nother policy. When this shit burned down, I don't want no problems. I want to call my insurance company. I want to check.
Ching.
I want the other one. I want the other policy in place. I'm going to keep paying it. I ain't going to worry about it. But this policy I'm paying for here, so I have two.
Oh, you get two?
On the house that I live in.
Oh,
that I live in.
Okay.
Yes. I'm keeping one for the lender. I have another one for me.
Oh.
No mortgagee. Because when it burns down, I don't want to have to worry about this staying in place.
But properties that you're buying subject to, are you getting your own insurance policy? Or are you...
I do own that subject to.
No,
I just happen to live in it.
Gotcha.
Property that you get.
Yeah, that you're acquiring subject to. If you're acquiring a subject to, do you usually get your own insurance? I know Jay does.
It depends. Once again, same
thing.
He
just does it on every deal, just flat out, and just makes it a part of the checklist.
I would. If there's no equity, I got nothing to lose. I don't need insurance on it. If there's no equity on it, the shit burns down. I mean,
what to do?
Whatever. If I got a lot like my personal house that I own subject to, I want a policy on a second policy.
What about you, man?
What about you, Eddie?
Yeah.
I get my own.
Every time, even if there's no equity?
I leave that thing in a place that we just get put on.
There's no equity. There's no reason. Everybody's different. Ron says, "Don't get a policy." He told me I was a wimp.
That's a.
Remember that time? If you're a wimp, get another policy.
Get that.
Oh, that's what they said.
That's what he told me. Okay, you're a wimp.
If you're
Next, go ahead, Josiah.
no. That's up to you.
It's up to the person.
It's just totally up to you. Your business model. If you want it, you can.
I
If you
can't
don't,
advise on
whatever.
that. Yeah, whatever.
He doesn't care because his business model is different. Because
Jay?
No. Well, yeah, his business model because Ronald said it and forget it.
Yeah, he don't care.
That's why he doesn't care.
He's like,
But Jay's cashing out of these things 80% of the time. So
Different model.
different model. Yeah.
Jane, that's a pretty smile. Let them move to Florida. You're gonna be down there with Josiah.
Oh, there
She
you go.
said you're gonna come hang out with you. My first property. We're looking for the first property in the pre-foreclosure process. Selling her home in South Carolina. What is some advice to acquire property in another state, Josiah?
Depends on how much you owe on the other property. If it's free and clear, you should be 1031 in it if you can.
That's true too.
I don't know.
True too.
Depends on.
Eddie, I don't do
Need more
outside
info, I
stuff.
feel like.
Yeah, I don't do.
It also depends on whether it's her primary residence
Yeah.
or an income property. Sounds like it's a primary residence.
Selling a home, yes.
In which case, up to like $250,000 profits,
tax
tax free.
Yes, you're good. Robel, Eddie, he needs your help on the lease option. He emails you, but you ain't calling back.
Well, Bill, I'm gonna follow up with you, man. Give me
He ain't
another
worth
day
5
or
cents. He
something.
tired.
Hey, man.
He ain't worth 5 cents. I can't take him. No, I brought him all the way to the beach. I can get him out of the hood. The 2 rehabs down the street from where I stay. Okay. Come on, brother. Newbie, and don't be. You're supposed to bring some questions when you got the gurus on here. Oh, you saw the dumpsters. Yeah, go in there and talk to them. Don't go in there begging. Go in there and be like, look, I'm an investor. I'm looking for somebody to work with. Your posture is going to dictate your future.
Oh, yeah.
Don't be going in there all begging.
Going on with some authority, with some cajones.
We were just talking about that today. We're talking about coming off as an educator
Educator and a consultant.
and a consultant. That's right.
NYC, what up? We down south in VA. Touch on rated private money outside of hard money. Also, what's my elevator speech to open that conversation? Do y'all want to touch that, or I can do mine?
Do you?
I always just ask people, do you have any capital? Well, I just let them know, listen, we're paying our investors 6 to 8%. Would you like to see more about that? Or do you know anybody? Do you know anybody that's interested in getting 6 to 8%? If they do, then move on. If they don't, nice talking to you. But now I got to tell you, man, we have more than enough. People are bringing money to our deals, at this stage in my career. Emerald, yeah, that's where we at. Oh, Lord. Oh, damn. That might be time to get him out of here. I didn't skip. Did we skip you? Oh, shit. Did we go back? Oh, okay.
I think. I didn't see.
Oh, she's just joking. Miss Engineer, all right, ready? 1,
Go
2,
to bed. What
3.
you doing?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Miss Jackson. Happy birthday to you.
Woo! I like the jazz hands going on.
Happy birthday. What course did I purchase? All of them. Listen, I can't. This is one of my pet peeves. People want to know. When I was in college, right? I gotta tell you this. This is 10 seconds. We'd be in college. We'd be studying all night, like group of people like this, studying. One person over there asleep. All of us studying, working. We studying all night. Test at 8 o'clock. 7 o'clock, we're all packing up. All right, guys, let's go. The person sleep, wakes up.
Wait, I missed out.
What do I need to know?
Too late now.
Everything. That's what we used to tell them. You know everything. You need to know everything. There is no one course. What do you need to know? Everything. There is no one thing. It's called research. You need more people. Research. There is no one thing. You look at my library, shit is stacks and stacks of books. My wife's like, who in the hell, where are y'all books? Stacks. That's why I think that all the people here are well-rounded, because I promise you, if I ask all these men, they don't have 1 or 2 books. They got a whole bunch of books and a whole bunch of people that they've plugged into. I know Smitty got a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So there is no one thing. I mean, I could give you a few, but I mean, I can't even think off the top of my head. Stacks and stacks of books. Forget about the money. The money is irrelevant. Final thoughts. Let's get up out of here. Let's start with Smitty. Smitty.
Well, perfect example for that. Get to your local real estate investors association or real estate investors group. You can look those up online, and if you're fortunate, like we are in the Tidewater area, our Tidewater Real Estate Investor Group particularly is a non-profit. It is an actual registered non-profit organization that just celebrated its 40th anniversary.
Wow.
Plug in with some of those investors, because it was Lonnie Scruggs and others there at Trig that taught you the business.
That's right. Get plugged in.
And I started out with the same in little Jamestown, New York. I looked up back in the 80s. I looked up the local Real Estate Investors Association, and there were some, even in that little tiny town of 30,000, there were a couple of whales there that taught me the business.
Nice. Mr. Transaction.
And by the way, whales are the people that have the money. They're the big fish.
We do. You're right. We do. Josiah.
Yes, sir.
Final thoughts for a brother.
Well, if you're just getting started, or to the crew out there, be proactive.
To the roundup family.
To the roundup family.
Yes, sir.
Be proactive.
What does that mean?
That means if you are asking a question and you can't get an answer to it, find it yourself. Don't do nothing about it.
So you're saying, what can I do is the first question.
Yep. And then
who can I call?
Right.
No, who
do I need to get?
What can I do
to network with? Right. And then I would say who first, right? And then what can I do? And what kind of value can I add first? And if you're adding more value than you're expecting in return, you're not gonna have to worry about the value coming back. That's right.
Provide value first. Give before you ask.
Yep.
I think that's a big thing about people's philosophy. I try to give before I ask. Hit it, Mr. Transaction Engineer. Mrs. Transaction Engineer said thank you, by the way.
And all that get understanding. You got to understand this business. Don't just jump out there and think it's going to happen for you. Go out there and get educated and make your life easier. Because if you don't, guess what? You're going to pay by mistakes. Or either you get a coach or you get a system or program, get around like-minded individuals so you can grow.
Or better individuals. Roundup family, thank you for joining us. If you want to come hang out with Brother Smitty, Mr. Engineer, Josiah, Jay Connor, just go to the link below. Get registered. When was the last time you spent any money on your future? When was the last time? I had to think of myself. I spent all this money on cruises, vacations, all this crap for my kids. It's great. But I'm like, how much money am I spending to raise their mental? I know even for my kids, I have to bring them in and teach them this stuff, man. And it's challenging. It's challenging because I want to just have a good time. But there was an analogy that I want to present to you around that family. 10 seconds. Think about a hitchhiker with his thumb out, right? What do we do with that? We drive right by. We drive right by. Why is that? Because they're looking for a handout. But what do we do when we see the person pushing the car? What do we do when we see the person pushing the car? I know for me,
want to go help. Calm down, Chris. Calm down.
First thing I do, I'm telling you, first thing I do, I stop my car. I get out of the car. I go help push. The first thing I do, but when I say hitchhiker, I'm like,
you keep going. That makes a lot of sense.
Can I steal that?
Real.
Can I steal that? I'm gonna steal that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because I do the same thing too.
I'm gone. Yeah. I don't care. But when you push in your car, I'm like, okay, he's taking effort. He's taking his life into his own hands. He's trying to move forward. It's crazy when I got this analogy presented to me. I'm like, you know what? That is deep. I don't care if you're just asking for a hangout. I just don't care, And I think the majority of us, maybe the men at this table, what do you guys think about that?
That's accurate. More than
I've
never seen someone pushing their car and I haven't at least slowed down and asked if they needed some help.
Yeah, that's real tough.
I don't know why that is. Us humans, man. So I'm saying to say, I promise you, when you start helping yourself and you start showing up at these events, people like the Jay Connors, I don't know why, Jake, we just kind of had a connection. The man, I'm telling you, the man calls me, we text each other, and he is on a complete another level than me But even Josiah can attest. I heard him say that he can text him and call him. But he can see. What I'm thinking is he saw Josiah moving, and he's like, you know what? All I got to do is do a little bit of pushing for him, as opposed to come on, let me help you. What do you think? You think that's why maybe?
Maybe. I mean, yeah, and I mean, he's also a great guy. And I think, I don't know, just awesome people. We have a really similar philosophy about business, and I think that, we have a lot of years in between us, so I think he sees that a little bit.
He still sees you. No doubt, you're investing in yourself, and he speaks. I'm here to tell you, Jay Connor speaks a language of money.
Oh,
he speaks money.
So literate, man.
Yeah, he speaks. He speaks, and if you talk about money, he's ready. He's ready to go, ready to do it with you. You know, so that's all I got for you, Roundup family. Make sure you subscribe, share this content, like it,
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Please hit the button, and we will be broadcasting each night as we share with you what we've learned. I got a book full of stuff. You know, I just came from ET. I got this book from Eric Thomas. It's really cool. It's gonna be my seminar book here. Got a lot of stuff to share with you. Roundup family. Anything else?
Peace, guys.
Eddie,
have a good night, guys. We love you.
Let's let Eddie go to bed.
We gotta go, guys. We gotta go. The party's over.
Oh man.
All right. Peace. Register.